What's up, my bold little bloodlines? This is Rob from A Gay Guy Plays, and I was completely unaware that other bloody fruits existed aside from oranges, but apparently blood limes are totally a thing. Regardless, we are back with another installment of the weekly Nightwave, the series where we take a look at this week's acts and find the most entertaining or most efficient way to take them on. Spoiler alert, there's really not much efficiency going on this time around. However, what we do have is a Warframe of the week, mainly in mention, but we'll get to it when we get to it. And of course, we're going to go ahead and talk about some entertainment things that you can tune in the background while you're farming the last few bits of your Death Cube Prime, because RNG is cruel and just refuses to drop what you need, even though you have used so much void magic juice to upgrade everything. Damn it! Do you know how many Techo Prime blades I have, but absolutely no Death Cube Prime crap haces? Oh, regardless, before I get too carried away, let's go ahead and take a look at the acts. So first things first, we do have some dailies that do happen to stack, but they're just dailies, so really can't get too excited about that. We have Warning Shot, which is kill 200 enemies. Then we have Agent, which is complete a mission. And lastly, we have Attractive, which is kill 150 enemies with magnetic damage. So bust out your Batacores as well as your Cyanoid Gamacores and get it on. Interesting fact though, I noticed that there are no magnetic melee weapons in game. Is that a thing? Am I completely just missing a weapon or something? Because I looked through it and there's like the hammer from Suda that also doesn't have it, or is it that the hammer from one of the Cephalons? All Cephalons are evil, so a part of me just kind of like blends them all in together. But yeah, it's not magnetic. Really, really weird. Regardless, moving along to our weeklies, we have Assassin, complete 3 assassination missions. Conservationist, complete 6 different perfect animal captures in the Orb Valis. Operative, which is complete 3 spy missions. Then we have Venus Bounty Hunter, which is complete 5 different bounties in the Orb Valis. And Venus Fisher, which is catch 6 rare servofish in the Orb Valis. Then moving along to our elite weeklies, we have Elite Test Subject, which is complete 8 zones of Elite Sanctuary Onslaught, and then Survival, complete a survival mission reaching at least 30 minutes. So a lot of those are separated. You could kind of say that all of the Venus ones go hand in hand with each other, but really I feel like they're all completely different tasks. You can get them all done in one round though. The other thing that I do want to point out over here is Assassin. Now, the reason that I wanted to go ahead and highlight this is mainly because of the fact that, as was stated on the dev stream, there is going to be a Halloween event that involved the boss fight from the Emissary. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the exact same thing as the Emissary, but as you guys are fully aware, we do have Outbreak missions that require us to get keys. Now, you go and do these Outbreak missions, you get the email, or you get the mail. I guess it's mail. Is it email? What are we calling it? It's in our inbox. But, you know, we get all of these mails from the Lotus that give us not those items, not that item. Where are you? There you go, the Zealot Derelict codes. So I'm almost thinking that maybe your assassinations for this week should be focused on Forward to try to get yourself all of these Derelict codes, just in case you end up needing it for the Halloween event, because they did say that it was going to be like this mission that was very similar to that, but maybe like an endless mission or something along those lines. So you might as well go ahead and do it that way and leave the poor Sergeant alone. He's been through so much already. Aside from that, everything is pretty spread out. And that kind of makes me sad. The other thing that makes me sad, and I do want to remind you, well, let's look at the thing that makes me sad. I'm at rank 39. It means that I have to do at least one more rank to get to 40 so that like my OCD isn't triggered by like a weird random number. But the other thing that I do want to point out is remember that this installment of Nightwave is going to be ending on October 13th. I don't necessarily know if we're going to get another refresh on this. After that, it's going to go into intermission and all of our emissary creds are going to be going away. So do get around to spending them now. Whatever customizations you end up needing, pick them up, get yourself a little bit of Nightane or any of the skins that you missed out on. Just a little bit of a reminder that this is a thing that is coming. Regardless, you saw our Warframe of the week. Let me go ahead and pull up the build that I've done on him so that you guys can see that. Now, The reason that Gauss is our Warframe of the week is mainly because of the fact that I feel like his buffs got lost within the Atlas Prime launch, and I wanted to highlight some of those, but I'm also going to leave a link to where I actually read about all of the Gauss buffs, and I'm also going to leave a link to his fashion frame because that has not changed whatsoever either. So I'll toss both of those up there as well as down in the description box below. But a couple of the highlights to, you know, his kit upgrades and changes. Listen, I didn't feel like he needed a buff, but they gave him a buff, and I'm always going to take a buff where you can get him. Some people are saying that it made him from completely unmanageable to now super manageable. So really, like, get back in there. If you had some trouble with managing his battery before, definitely give him another shot, because one of the biggest features that was kind of like a highlight across all of his kit is his battery got easier to manage. There were more ways to charge it up, and in addition to that, his drain on it was a little bit less. So first and foremost, battery got easier managed. Next thing, the range on Thermal Sunder was increased, and when you're using it during his ultimate, remember how you could use the blast to strip enemy armor? Well, it went from 0 to 50%, all the way up to 0, up to 100% armor stripping. So that's something to definitely keep your head around on, just in case you were playing him for more longer missions and you really needed that armor strip. The other thing that I wanted to make mention of is something that I actually really loved when it came to the changes, is now when you have kinetic plating on, melee, I believe it's melee damage or melee kills, things that you do with melee against enemies. Listen, watch the patch notes video. They grant battery charge. So that's kind of even better. So now you can go in with a melee Gauss, because you know Gauss is always kind of like dashing into battle, right? So when you got kinetic plating on, you're doing melee damage, and then boom, it's charging up your battery, which is very nice. In addition to that, the hits that you take while you're in kinetic plating that are kind of like damage reductionized, they take less hits to the battery. So it's less of a reduction to your meter. So again, you're building meter and you're losing less meter for all of that kind of stuff. So for those of you guys who have not tried him out already, please go ahead and give him another shot. I think that he is an absolutely fantastic frame, but apparently a lot of Tenogen artists have been making notes, and you can't see it here, but apparently when they were given the resources to kind of like start doing Tenogen for Gauss, he only has one butt bubble. He actually is just one butt cheek. That's all he gets, but I guess it's more aerodynamic that way, so you can't really be mad at that situation. So definitely check him out if you have not already. He is officially my Warframe of the week. Now let's go ahead and have a chit chat about the entertainment bits that I think that you should be watching while you are farming for Warframe, or at least have running in the background. Now there's a new series on Netflix that I'm very enamored with. Straight out of the gate, I thought it was kind of cool, but Raising Dion is about a single mother raising a child who she discovers has superpowers. His father died in the storms, oh my god, in New Orleans. Oh my god, I feel really bad. It's down, you know, the floods that happened, he died there, so she's raising him on her own. To be completely honest with you, I think the mother's acting is a little bit weak, but get through the first episode, and the last bit of that first episode, you're like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. And a lot of these special effects that they use for Dion's abilities are actually really good. Now, continuing on with the Netflix train, I'm actually going to be asking you guys a couple questions. Have any of you guys watched Wu Assassins? I've watched a couple episodes and I was like, this is weird and kind of Power Ranger-y. I don't know how I feel about this. Let me know if I should continue doing that. Same thing goes for Big Mouth. I watched the first season, I had some fun with it, but I don't know if it was necessarily for me. So if Big Mouth is for you, please make a case for it down in the comments below. And in addition to that, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Amazon Prime because they have a couple things that I think that you guys should watch. If you have not watched Final Fantasy Kingsglaive, at least watch it for the spectacle. The fights are fucking good, man. It's really good. Plus, with all of the talks about Final Fantasy VII's remake and seeing Tifa back in action, because Tifa is my queen goddess of all time, I love a woman who can just punch the shit out of things. It makes me happy. That's why I play Borderlands 3 and Amara is my spirit animal. I just really want to run around as a woman and punch things. But yeah. definitely check out Final Fantasy Kingslave because Tifa brought it back to full circle. Now, speaking of punching and also swords and shit, apparently, and I did not know this, but Amazon Prime has these series called Vikings. I watched Vikings well, not way back in the day, but when it first came out, and that series was fucking good. Vikings is a solid show, so if you have not tuned in to check that out, those are a couple things for you guys to go ahead and run in the background while RNG completely screws you in the butthole. But I'm gonna leave you guys with one last thought. If you guys have not watched it already, I will leave a link up in the corner to my Devstream rundown. Now, one of the things I'm curious about out there is to test the waters. Or take the temperature of the waters. Is that the right saying at all? No? Maybe? We'll see. But let me know how you guys are feeling after that dev stream. Are you more excited? Are you more hopeful? Or are you still kind of in a weird space with Warframe? Because I definitely know that when I come on to my streams, there's a lot of people that are actually playing Destiny 2 in the background. There's a lot of people that have been playing Monster Hunter World. Like, a lot of people are watching me stream Warframe, but are actually playing a different game. So let me know if that's still the case with you, if they have not completely won you over. Maybe you're waiting for that update to launch in order to really make any kind of judgments. But toss all your feelings down in the comments below about the current state of your feelings of Warframe. And keep in mind, this is the current state of your feelings with Warframe, not necessarily the current state of Warframe in and of itself. We'll get into that in a different video. Regardless, that's gonna do it for me for now. I hope you guys had a good time and enjoyed the reviews. The reviews? Is that the suggestions for the things that you should have in the background? Maybe we can make this a little, you know, weekly thing. Regardless, toss that in the comments below, and as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.